So, the moment you go on the internet and enter social media, there are like 10,000 people selling you their own kind of truth, right? And I would just like to explain why there is no such thing as your own kind of truth. There is no subjective truth, there is only objective truth. I will explain it in this video. So, there are people that believe that there is such a thing as subjective truth, so a personal truth, right? So a truth that is then changing from person to person, so a constantly changing truth dependent on culture, time, place, race, whatever, right? So a constantly changing truth, right? People always distort the words and the meanings of them, everything that society have produced that was natural, that had true meaning, right? Like love. People say love, but they are actually attached, right? They know attachment, but they use word love. They will give the right meaning, but they behave from attachment, in attachment, right? So just like the word love was distorted, it was also the truth. It was also distorted, this word, truth, right? Truth means always true. If it's always changing, then it's not truth. Then it is just your idea or the your moment being genuine, but it isn't truth. Truth means always true. For throughout all of the history, it is true now and it will forever and for always be true, right? This is what truth means. It's objective truth as an universal law, God's law, nature's law, right? It is applicable always to everybody anytime, right? This is what truth is. So an objective truth, right? So and also people that speak about subjective truth, that everybody has their own kind of truth, actually say that, believe that, because they speak from the mind, they speak from disembodiment, right? Because when you are embodied being, when you have an experience, a bodily experience, this is what embodiment means. Only through that you can ground yourself into the reality. And so your spirituality, it is then proven on all levels of life, not on the abstract only, but also on the physical, bodily, experiential level. It is proven. So through all of your experience on all levels of life, it is proven then actually what works, what is true and what is false, right? If your ideas are also proven on the bodily experiential level, then they are true. But if they are not provable on the experiential bodily level, then they are not true, right? So only through embodiment you can ground yourself into reality, how reality actually works, what is true and what is false. So only embodied people through embodiment come to realization how the only way to achieve embodiment, right? The only way to achieve embodiment, and only through achieving embodiment they realize how reality works, the only way to it. There is only way, there is only one way how to achieve embodiment. And once you achieve that, you realize that there is this only one way. And this is the way of you fearing being seen in all parts of yourself. You fearing being seen all versions of yourself, seen by the world, right? you fearing that. And so the only way through it is by accepting the fear, feeling it fully, and then feeling and living everything that was beneath it, right? So going all the way. This is the only way to embodiment. And only once you start achieving embodiment in this way, you realize that, oh shit, this is the only way that works to embody something permanently, sustainably, right? So only through having a bodily experience of the embodiment, you ground yourself into the reality, realizing there is only one path to life. There is only one path to God, through God. So there is an objective truth. This is something. God is the truth, and it always was like this. It is right now, every next moment, and for always and forever will be like this. It's applicable to everybody, anytime. This is what truth is. So God is truth, right? I have just proven it right now. And so only embodied people that live in this truth, that have proven to themselves this and have realized it, not through mental masturbation, but through embodiment, only the people that have opened their heart have realized that there is only one way to life, and this is God's way to life. Not everybody has their own kind of truth to life, but there is only one truth to life. I have just proven it. This is God's way. There is a universal law. There is a God's law. There is a nature's law. And if we obey them, we come to our natural state. This is the proof. You coming to natural state is the proof of God. So there is an objective truth. It works for all. Right? And so embodied people know this. Disembodied people imagine many things. And so I just wanted to prove that there is objective truth and subjective truth doesn't exist. And another thing I wanted to say is that the world is splitting, right? The world is divided already, since we can remember. I had this naive wish of us all uniting, but it just won't happen because people are so divided, so blind, and so unwilling to face themselves, become responsible. So we are already divided and we are still dividing and splitting even more. And I just wanted to say that all of that racism and all other means of division are just superficial and actually non-existent in reality. In reality, there is just a division between mature, the embodied people that came to realize God, the mature people that matured through embodiment, through realizing this objective truth that God is the way, not in belief, but in embodiment, in direct experience, and between people that fear bodily experience because they fear being seen whole. They still haven't processed the fear, so they don't know this objective truth, and so they then imagine their own personal subjective truth and live in illusion because of that, right? So there is a group of people that are on the side of God in energy, in energetic integrity, in God integrity. And then there are all the other that maybe wish to be on this level or are totally against it, thinking they have their own kind of God or their own kind of truth, right? And so division is between these two groups. So I already know on which side I am, right? My school, New Earth School, is the guide to come to this side where we wish to unite with everybody, but actually we will only be united in God, in the embodiment of it, not just in the faith of it, right? Because people maybe have faith but do actually everything opposite of it. So there are many hypocrites, right? So actually, it's all about embodiment of God, the life force coming from God, so the full spectrumness of the human being, right? So division is between these two communities, the embodiment of God and then the disembodiment of God, the delusional world, right? So this is the old one, and the new world, the new building one, it's the one based on the objective truth of God. Because in that we have common values, the values that come from God, and because we embody them, we naturally, even without having discourses on these things, we naturally, from embodiment on energy level, can can cohabit and actually energetically, intuitively are totally organized, guided by God, guiding us in divine order, right? So this is the split. It has already happened, it is happening. I don't know how much time people have. I would really like for all of you to come to this side, to the side of God, by embodying your whole self. The only way that works. This is my whole school about. Check all of my videos if you want to know all of the details. The point is to face the fear of yourself, and fear can only be met. Listen to this is key. To achieve sustainable, everlasting embodiment, you have to face fear fully, fear of yourself, and fear can only be met fully if you are unprepared and spontaneous going about life. So there is no therapy to life. There is no going to some special spa, spiritual resort where you are going to fix yourself. There is no special uh, holidays on a special island somewhere in exotic place where you are going to balance yourself. You don't come to balancing yourself in a peaceful scenario. You balance yourself when you are tested with fear, and you are only tested with genuine fear fully activated in you when you are unprepared for that fear. So in the reality, in the spontaneity of life, when you are going about life without being prepared for it, so being guided by your intuition, being right now in this moment fully open and one with it, and coming into the next moment the same, fully open, unprepared, spontaneously guided. So, because I'm right now in this moment open and living from this place, I will come into the next moment fully open, unprepared, guided by intuition. So, not planning anything in life, but being true and one with what is right now, being present right now, not living for the future, and from this place coming into the next moment. And only in this way of being you can be met genuinely with fear of yourself, of how you will be in that moment. And only if you are genuinely being met with fear of how that next moment demands from you to be, maybe in some way that you fear being seen, only if you're being like that, going like that, spontaneously, intuitively guided in life, you can meet this fear fully. Because of that, meet yourself fully. Prove to yourself resilience, that you can take life as it is and thus live from a genuinely open heart. How can you open your heart if you don't meet fear fully? What are you then meeting? You're then just meeting something halfway. If you want to live from an open heart, if you want to open your heart, you have to meet yourself fully. If you want to meet yourself fully, you have to fear fully. Because if you only meet fear 50%, you only reveal yourself 50%. So it is a condition to meet fear fully, and you can only meet fear fully by going unprepared about life. Because we constantly plan about life, right? Because we are afraid of life, so we try to control it. So only if you don't plan life, you lead from intuition, you will come into the next moment unprepared. And only if you're unprepared, full fear can get activated, accepted, and be finally left behind. This is the only way. This is the objective truth. And you come to this realization by embodiment. I have done it, that's why I speak about it. And now it's your turn. If you want to come to the side that will, like genuine children of God, in embodiment, in your only true and meaningful identity, cohabit with other same people, same, similar brothers and sisters, not in wishful thinking, but in embodiment, where we will manifest new world, new earth, new society, a harmonious, loving, prosperous, flourishing heaven on earth. That's it. The world is splitting. Make your choices, become responsible, and realize that there is only one truth in life. And this is not your mind, your ego, but God, your true self.